Alright guys and gals, it's going to be a video on repairing aluminum cylinder head threads that are in the block of my 99 Subaru. And this kit is a bit better than the time certs that normally fix head bolt threads. And this is from Huhn Solutions, Huhn. There's our guy there. Anyways, I think it's the NS300L. So I just want to do a little unboxing. And I'm going to repair the threads tonight. This is part of a series on head gaskets for my 99 Subaru. I went to torque. I had threads that were really gummy coming out. And this is going to be the kit. Well, anyways, I went to torque and the bolt just kept spinning on the second step, so obviously that ain't gonna work. So we've got our instructions here, and let's see here. I believe these are the actual new threads. They've got a coarse outer thread and a fine inner thread, and the time certs have a fine outer thread and a fine inner thread, and the fine outer threads are more likely to pull through the soft aluminum. So he developed this kit. It looks amazing. It comes with 17 inserts. There's $412 for the Subaru one. And let's see what we got here. Okay, this is my little jig to do the drilling, so everything looks pretty straightforward. Just wanted to unbox it, figured I'd video it, and I'm going to look at the instructions really quick. Make sure I don't have any questions, but everything looks really good. And here, let me do this 1 second. So as you can see, it comes with absolutely everything that you need. And so here's our kit right there. Anyways, I'm really happy with it. It got here in time. It's Friday. So I'm gonna look through these instructions and just make sure I don't have any questions in case I have to call the guy. Norm, I think his name is. Pretty cool though. It comes with absolutely everything you need. So thank you to Huhn Solutions. Saving my butt. Over and out. All right, you guys, I've got the NS300L head bolt thread repair kit for the Subaru. This particular, I'm not sure if I have a part number, but it's basically, you'll find everything at huhnsolutions.com, and there is Norm's information to get a hold of him, and they do have a website. Oh, there it is, huhnsolutions.com. Anyway, everything we need. I got 17 of these inserts. We get the cutting fluid, everything we went through in the initial video, but I've got it all out. I'm ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and figure out how to orient everything, tape everything off, and then basically I'll probably do some time-lapse filming of the actual repair and do check-ins. And then, yeah, I'm really excited about this kit. It's really cool because this kit standardizes the outer thread. So once you get this kit, all you really need is different inserts to do all the other applications. So pretty cool. So we're going to get started. I'm just going to read through this and, of course, sort of get set up for the first step and get her done. All right, guys, I've got the spacer that's used for this kit, and I had to flip it to where the recessed is upward for the dual overhead cam, and then I stick the alignment bushing in there, hold it down, and then tighten it up so we're basically aligned. And then I'm just realizing that the drill is a 1/2 inch shank, so I need to locate a drill with a bigger shank. Mine is the smaller one, but basically following instructions, and we're gonna drill down, and then we're gonna tap as far as needed. Get this thing installed. All right, y'all. Of course, I got my deck all taped off. you can basically see that I am about, I don't know if you call it halfway. Here, let me adjust my light. Anyways, you can see where I'm at with the drill depth, and you can see how far I have to go. The little black center in the middle is definitely the bottom of the threads, and as you can see, the threads are non-existent at the bottom there. But we're basically drilling. Instructions on this application say to drill the holes entire length of the original hole depth. Sorry guys. Making sure to remove all factory threads. So we just want to get all the way down. So we're continuing on. And I'm using the cutting oil, and then what I have here, which I haven't showed you yet. Definitely recommend doing something like this. Step down a hose to a regular vacuum so you can just suck everything out. You don't want to continue to blow that out with air compressor. It's just going to get everywhere. And this method is so much easier too. So, all right guys, we're going to keep going. Let's get her done. All right guys, we've got our hole fully drilled. As you can see, we're all the way down to the basically past the any original threads and down at the bottom of the casting basically. So we are basically ready to switch gears and start tapping. And so we are going to continue to just read through here, and then I'm at basically the inserts are to be installed. So basically that will be when I'm done tapping. So I need to go to this next bad boy here, install the tap bushing in the jig, which is this guy. Boom, boom. Little tightener. This thing is so cool. So thankful for this awesome kit. So basically, then using the 5/8 11 3-foot plug tap and proper tap wrench, thread roll about 2 inches deep. Then you can remove the jig. So we are getting there. So here's our bottom flute. Here's our 3-flute spiral. So this is our main cutting bad boy. And this one will finish the job down low. So let's get everything set up. And then of course I've got other instructions for final depths, etc. Feeling very good about this. Rock and roll. All right, guys, we got the first part of our threads going. It looks like, if I had to guess, maybe 3/4 of an inch to an inch. This is my setup. It does say in the instructions for this particular tap, if you have an 11 millimeter 12-point socket, and I do, it happens to be a 1/2 inch. So I have a little step down in my classic Craftsman. So I'm basically just oiling the tap. I'm not going to install. I just need to put a little more oil on it, and basically threading it down, doing a few turns, coming back, doing a few more turns, coming back. Because when you come back, all of the debris will fall into the channels and not get bound up. But anyways, we're going to keep going. I do have a bit of a question on how to properly measure the depth of the threads, but we'll figure that out. I might even call Norm tomorrow about it. But we're getting the threads tapped for our insert, and it's a critical part because we want to make sure the threads go down just far enough so where we can bottom out that insert, and it's just there nice and tight. You know, you don't want a bunch of threads below the insert and expect it to stay in place. So anyway, we're getting her figured out. I like my little tap setup here. All right, guys and gals, I'm wrapping my mind around how to basically guesstimate how far I am on the thread. So the instructions say to basically, when you first start tapping, let's at least get the threads to 2 inches deep no matter what. So this is sitting at the top of the threads. So what I measured is from here and to about there is 2 inches. So what I know is that from where the tap is now to just above the shoulder of where the square starts is, you can see the 2 inches. So what that means is I am free to run this tap down, which I'm going to start it by hand. I just want to start it by hand. It's feeling really good, by the way. So, and then obviously you just want to start it by hand. So I'm going to get my guy here. Using my left hand, I should be using my right. Okay. So, and as you can tell, so now I have at least a baseline. You can see how far I am here. Okay, now I'm cutting. I'm going like 2.5 little quarter turns back until it frees up. There, I'm cutting again. You can kind of feel when it starts to, you don't really want to get to where it's going to bind when you're cutting threads, but you can tell. And I think let's take a look here. So about 180 degrees is all you want to go, and then 180 back. So, and again, I just get to go at least all the way down to this socket head. A little bit further. It feels really good. This aluminum is cutting like butter. And you can put more cutting oil down the threads. And I've been coming out really early and often just because I don't want anything to, I think I'm going to come out. I've done enough runs to where now I'm going to come back out. Okay, there's what's on our tap. And you can see quite a bit of debris. So we just want to suck that out. And again, I highly recommend using a vacuum, and the instructions also highly recommend. Because number one, it's inefficient trying to blow all that out, and you're not going to get it all out, really. So just suck it out, get a little system going like this. And all right, I'm going to vacuum everything out and then keep going. All right, guys, we're back on the Subaru. This is where I finished the other night. The tap is, I've got the threads, I'd say about 2.5 inches from the depth of the actual depth of the threads. Well, I actually have no idea. So what we're gonna do, we're definitely deep enough to take the jig out. Oh, that's what I was gonna get. I forgot to get something out of my backpack. I need to get the die. This kit does say to make sure you use OEM bolts, in which I totally agree. But I am so underneath. I spent so much extra money and time on this thing. The Felpro bolts I know are good enough. And I'm gonna run a die down all the threads just to make sure I got nice clean threads. And and again, how I measured this was basically the start of the threads being right here. And it said to go about 2 inches, which is about to there, and I'm about to here. So from the start of the threads down to the bottom is about 2.5 inches or whatever. So what I'm gonna do is I need to get a baseline. I need to remove the jig, retape everything, spin this down, then measure it. Then I'll really know where I'm at, because like I said before, the top of this insert should be 1.5 inches from the surface of the deck, of the block. So I'm gonna measure, once it bottoms out, I need to measure here to there, and then I'll get a really good idea of how far I need to go. I'm not quite sure what to expect. I'm sure I'm gonna have quite a bit to go. But I'm going to remove this and retape. Let's go. Let's do it. All right, guys, I got my insert as far down as my current threads are. Made sure of that. And I basically hit in the flat part of this tool. And where we're at is basically about 3/4 of an inch. So I have another 3/4 of an inch to go. So I'm going to put my tap back in there. I will have to switch to the bottom tap to reach down that last 1/4 inch probably. But I'm gonna keep tapping with this as far as I can. It's stronger and it's a little bit better. And then I will slowly make our way to 1.5 inches, and then we'll get everything cleaned out nice and dry. Install this thing with Loctite, and then tomorrow we will be bolting up our heads. Whoops. Come on. All right. Okay, so we have a 3/4 of an inch to go. What I'll do here is I'm gonna put this, okay. And I guess I can run it down, mark the side, and then go 3/4. So I'll probably do that. All right, guys, I'm gonna take this out, put a little oil on it, and then head on back down. Let's do it. All right, guys, so here we are bottomed out in the threads. So you see where the 3/4 inch mark is. I need to get that to the deck head, and I'll probably switch. After I get to about here, probably, I will switch to the other tap. Let's just see how it goes. Let's see here. It does say, use the flute bottom tap to form the last couple of threads. Okay, due to its tapered end, which makes sense. Okay. All right, so we're just gonna play it by ear. The thing of it is you gotta have threads all the way to the bottom, so this doesn't bottom out in the non-threads prematurely. So anyway, we'll figure it out. We just need to get this thing 1.5 inches deep. And let's go to town. Let's get after it. All right, guys and gals, I'm done tapping. Actually, unfortunately, I went a 1/4 inch too far. Once I switched to the bottom tap, I thought what I should have done, in fact, what I would recommend is measure the tap, and you'll find that the tap itself, 3¼ inches, is just up to the neck here, and I went ahead to there because I thought I had a lot more. It was stupid because I think this wasn't bottomed out the last time I checked it. So you have to really be careful to get all the aluminum bits and put some cutting oil or some lube on there to make sure you're truly all the way down. Now, we're looking at a difference from here to here. And as you can see, you know, instead of it being, you know, this deep in the hole, it's this deep. And that probably equals 4 threads of the fine thread. And you know what? There's not much I can do about it. I was looking at the other bolts, and if anything, I'll instead of down here, I'm not sure where the bolt is supposed to rest, but instead of down here, I'll be up here. And as long as I have some good threads to torque, that's all I'm after. I mean, there's not much I can do. I should have As careful as I was trying to be, I just went a little too far with once I switched to the bottom tap. And so be very careful with that last part. Again, there's enough threads in here where I don't think I'm going to be in any sort of trouble. Obviously, if I wasn't deep enough, I'll be running through the bottom of this, and I know that could sort of affect things. But guys, I'm just gonna do my best. Again, instead of the bolt ending here, maybe it's ending here now. And I know that's, I don't know, the threads start there, which is about where, let's see here. The threads start about here. And so, I don't know, guys. I'm just praying this is gonna work. I was being so stinking careful too. But anyways, guys, I got everything blown out and dried out. I sprayed some brake clean in there. I sucked it out. I sprayed some brake clean in there again. I'm gonna do it one more time. Just make sure there's no more oil residue. And instructions say to put a couple drops of thread lock to the newly threaded hole. I'm not sure how I'm gonna do that without it just flowing down. But then I'll put a nice section around the middle. A bead of thread lock around the outside of the insert, about halfway down the length of the insert. So anyways, I'm just gonna go for it. Praying this works. I'll probably call the guy tomorrow and just let him know I went a 1/4 inch too deep and just see what he says. But I'm not gonna wait to put this in because there's really nothing I can do. The threads are made. I can't unmake the threads. I can't fill them in. So all I can do is install it, hope for the best. So anyways, guys, Chiefs Louise. Projects just never cease to be exciting. So all right, guys, let's get this insert in. All right, guys, I got Loctite added. I ran it down as far as I could. I think it's supposed to actually go down at least 1/8 of an inch more, but man, I've tried. It is not moving. So I am happy with that. I literally I'll try it again. It is so tight right now that I feel like I'm gonna break this. So I'm really happy. It's in and tight. The Loctite is setting up. We are at a depth of 1.5. I can't quite read this one. We're a little past 1.5, so I'm really happy with that. So we're done. We're gonna let it dry. And then tomorrow we are going to go for the torque and praying that I can torque the heads down, and then I will go to the other side and just go for the torque. If I have any issues, I've got my kit. But very interesting. The insert is installed. Let's get a little light here. So as you can see, there's our insert. Oops, sorry, the LED is just freaking out. So, and our threads are down there. It's gonna be great. I think it's gonna work perfect. It is nice and tight in there. It's not going anywhere. This stuff sets up pretty damn quick. Activator. I didn't shake the thread locker. All right, well, anyways, wait, can't even hear it shake, but always read instructions, guys. Golly, I feel like I'm in a rush. I've been so careful. I messed up on a couple things. I tapped a little too far and I didn't shake the thread locker, but I guarantee it's still going to do its thing. It looked nice and thick. It didn't look runny at all, so. And it was laying sideways, thank God. If it was like this, I think that'd be more important, but it was laying sideways. But again, just always follow instruction, guys. Keep you out of trouble. All right, tomorrow we'll torque these down. All right, guys, we are cleaned up. I've got the head in place, got the gasket back on there. I am going to, one thing I did notice is that I had way too much oil on these before, because when I took it back apart, some of the oil had actually oozed out onto the gasket surface. So I've seen a lot of people do this. basically just drenching it with oil. You don't need that much. And I got my little squirter here, and basically, if I get these things out of the way, basically just a couple squirts and be just fine. You don't need much more than this, guys. I am gonna wipe these down. You want some on each side of the washer, of course. After I do this, I'm going to basically wipe any excess oil off and then put them in there. So again, you don't need too much oil. I'm putting way too much on here, but I'm gonna I'm gonna wipe this down. It's hard not to. So yeah, I'm gonna wipe these down. I'm gonna drop them in. I'm gonna follow our torque sequence here, and praying that when I'm done, I will be through step 8 and be ready to do the other side. Lord, please help this work. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right, guys, got both heads torqued. Finally getting back together.